All righty. Sounds like a plan. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to be here with you all. My name is Stephanie D. McKenzie, and I'll tell you a little bit more about me later. Today, we're going to be doing the Mission Sweet Rest Workshop. And so this is a workshop that is literally designed to put you to sleep. We're going to look at some of the things that may be keeping you up at night. And I hope that you will enjoy the information that's presented. If you have any comments, I guess you can post those in the comments section, and hopefully we'll have time to get to them. All right. This workshop, I want you to know, has been restfully brought to you by the Healing Firm, which is my company, as well as Sparrow Partners. So Solea, Mara, Sage, residents, this has absolutely been created for you. I'm so excited about being here with you all today. And that being said, allow me to introduce myself. Hi, I'm Stephanie D. McKenzie, and I am the lead coach at The Firms, which includes the Relationship Firm, as well as the Healing Firm. And so I like to specialize in healing bodies, minds, souls, and even money, because I do work as a business coach as well. But my favorite thing is talking about our bodies, how to heal them. And one of the ways that we do that is getting proper rest. So I'm going to come off a video. That's me waving. So you can just focus on the information that's being presented. Okay, so you know who I am. Let's start with a factoid and get this going. It's a fact. Adults 18 plus should get not 4, not 5, not 6, but 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep for optimum healing and health. Now, this is from the National Sleep Foundation, and I can add a little caveat to it in that women actually need more sleep than men. I mean, hey, we work harder anyway, right? But we actually need 20 minutes more sleep, believe it or not. But anyone 18 plus who can hear the sound of my voice, you should be getting 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep. Now, the thing you're probably going to ask is, what is quality sleep? What does that even mean? Well, quality sleep is about the way that you get into your REM cycles. We should REM every 90 minutes. It's the way that you're able to rejuvenate yourself. And so for me, quality sleep is not just about how you sleep, but it's about how you wake up. Are you waking up refreshed? Are you ready to take on the day? Do you wake up feeling like you didn't go to sleep at all? Then you're probably not getting quality sleep, or you're not getting enough quality sleep. And so that's the challenge. I know a lot of people like to get up and have coffee. Many times that's to help them wake up. And so if you need that, if you're like, oh, I can't function without my coffee in the morning, then that pretty much tells me all I need to know about the way that you're sleeping. And it's probably not, it's just not enough. And I know there are people, I have them in my life that say, oh, I can function on 4 hours of sleep. Yes, you can absolutely function. But what happens when we don't sleep is there are quite a few things that are affected. Our muscle tone, our hormones, our bodily systems in general, because we live on a rhythm, right? You've heard the term circadian rhythm. If you've heard that term, then our bodies are designed to be in rhythm. And as an aside, our bodies always crave what's called homeostasis. It's a natural balance that our bodies like to be in. When we don't sleep or get the quality sleep that we need at 7 to 9 hours, then those systems don't ever shut off. They don't ever power down. So it's kind of like you have a generator that's going on all night, but it doesn't have any gas in it. Now, most would say the generator would stop. Well, true, but somehow our bodies continue to go. So if we're asleep and still functioning as if we're awake, the body systems that also need rest, our bodily systems, our hormonal system, mentally, physically, emotionally, those cycles don't happen, and we need them. So yes, you can function on less, but again, this is about what we need for optimal healing and health, and our body gives us the chance to heal ourselves every single night. So for me, as a certified sleep science coach, there are always 3 factors that affect sleep. For me, this is all that it boils down to. And those 3 factors are activities, the atmosphere, and your accomplices. And they all start with A, because I love A alliteration. I do. I really have to just confess that. So activities, atmosphere, and accomplices. So if you're taking notes, I would love for you to write that down. Take a moment and write it down so you can remember what I said. Okay, my dears. So let's start with activities, okay? All right, activities, pre-bed and in-bed activities. Pre-bed. Stephanie, what are you talking about? All I do is have a snack before bed and I go to sleep. What are you talking about? Well, my dear, that could be the challenge, because everyone is different, and I'll get to that in a minute. I'll make a confession before this workshop is over. But what we do before bed and what we do in bed can absolutely affect our ability to have quality sleep, that sweet rest that we're talking about, right? So pre-bed, I have some questions for you. What information are you taking in? Are you watching murder mysteries before you go to bed? CSI, NCIS, SVU, Law and Order. Are you watching anything that makes your adrenaline level go up? Are you doing anything that is taxing your adrenals? See, adrenaline, adrenals, that all goes together. Are you having that late night cup of coffee? Even if it's decaf, for those of you who don't know, decaf coffee still has caffeine. It's not completely decaffeinated. It has less caffeine. I think a normal cup has 135 milligrams of caffeine, and I think decaf has maybe like 60 to 70, depending on brand. I think that's right. Don't quote me. But even if if you say, you know what, I drink caffeine during the day, I drink caffeinated coffee, and then at night I drink decaf, you're still getting caffeine. Tea, same thing, still getting caffeine. And so coffee in itself, anything with caffeine in it, doesn't actually make you more awake. What it does is it taxes your adrenals. And so your adrenals eventually become fatigued because they don't like to be taxed. They don't like that. They have their own cycle. They like to function in their own way. And so pre-bed activities, what are you doing? Are you doing things that excite you, that amp you up? Are you having conversations that are kind of ho-hum? Is this the time when you're having those deep, meaningful conversations with a significant other? Although I am a huge proponent for connecting with your significant other, because I'm also a certified relationship coach, at night, we want to begin to set the stage for peace. Peace. You know, we don't want to have contentious or controversial conversations. We don't want to take in information that could get us excited, because we're striving to wind down. we want to wind down. So pre-bed activities, from what we're eating, drinking, and seeing, really have an effect on us. And so when we get into bed, what are we doing there as well? Are we eating in bed? Are we drinking in bed? Are we watching TV in bed? What are we watching? Because again, it is about controlling your ear gates and your eye gates, what's coming into your body right before you're going to sleep. Again, our goal is to create peace. We really want to release all the vicissitudes of the day, any stressors that we've encountered, any challenges. We really want to release that. We don't really want to keep digging into that. Tomorrow's a new day, okay? And so in a minute, I'm going to talk to you about the atmosphere. But when we're in bed and we're watching TV, because a lot of people do, again, I have a confession coming in a moment. Many people get into bed and they watch TV. But it's not just about what you're watching, which I'm talking about now, but what the blue light of the television does to you physiologically. Because physiologically, you have a nerve. It's called the SCN. It's a super long name, and so I call it the SCN as most people do, because suprachiasmatic yada, yada, yada is a lot. But what that nerve does is that it takes in the blue light of the television and it says, I see blue light. I need to be awake. And so this may be working against you. Now, I say maybe because no two people are alike. And if you're a person who is fine with your pre-bed rituals, your in-bed rituals, but you're sleeping with someone who's not, we're going to deal with that when we get to accomplices. All right? Good deal. Let's see. I'm going to make sure we don't have any questions on that. I don't see any comments or questions. I would love it if you hit the like button if you have quality sleep, if you're on Facebook. Or if you feel like your sleep could be better, send the like button. There we go. If you feel like you could do a better job, if you could get better sleep, if you want better sleep, hit the like button on Facebook. I'm going to keep you engaged. All right. Next thing we're looking at is the atmosphere. Because this is where we sleep, right? And so I want to look at it from the standpoint of clutter, consciousness, colors, and light. That's the things I want to address. Now, why does clutter matter? Well, it matters because many times when we have clutter in our bedroom, around our sleeping area, it can give us anxiety. There are actually studies, psychological studies, that show that when a room is cluttered, it can cause anxiety. So what do we need to do about that? As best that we can, keep the clutter out of the bedroom. Keep it out of view. If you want to throw it in a closet, that's fine by me, but keep it out of your view. Again, this is about your ear gates and your eye gates, preparing for rest. We need peace, and clutter isn't peaceful. Okay? Again, we're going to talk about accomplices. So if you're thinking, I'm not the one with the clutter, we'll get to that in just a minute. All right. But then also, when we set our atmosphere for sleep, this is our bedroom, this is where we sleep, consciously, are there some things that we need to do? What you're hearing in the background is something called a binaural beat. B-I-N-A-U-R-A-L. I know you can see it, but I want to spell it for you anyway. B-I-N-A-U-R-A-L. Binaural beats. And what these do is that they have a tone that resonates beneath them that has various frequencies. The one that you're listening to right now, I chose for this workshop expressly. It's at 741 hertz, and it is designed to boost the immune system and cleanse toxins. Others will allow you to increase the love in your life, et cetera, et cetera. And these frequencies have been found within our bodies per NASA. So I didn't make it up, I promise. So I'm choosing this one. This is what you've been listening to the entire time. I turned it down a little bit, but we're boosting our immune systems and cleansing toxins. And these are tones that you can go to sleep. You can look this up on YouTube. You can Google binaural beats, and you can get that. If you don't want to deal with the tones that are underneath, some of them are fairly strong, you can look for meditation music. And if beats or music are not your thing, again, we need our conscious mind to stop running the show so we can wind down. That's the goal. That's why we don't want to do a lot of things that get our adrenals going, that get us into fight or flight mode before we go to bed. Because again, when we get into bed, it can take up to an hour for us to fall asleep. Some people are blessed to be able to head hit the pillow, sleep comes immediately, but that's not everyone. And if that's not you, then understanding how to, and I'm going to use the term lightly, but how to manipulate your consciousness so that you can relax, become peaceful, get into that quality sleep, get into those REM cycles that you need to shut off all of these systems in your body so that you can function at optimum healing and health. Doesn't that sound amazing? It sounds amazing to me. And I sleep. I'm not going to even, I can't even lie. I sleep, and I sleep quite well. But then that's why I'll have a confession shortly. So you have the binaural beats, you have the meditation music. And then also, I remember a long time ago, my mother had issues sleeping. And so we bought a sound machine. And so consciously, you know if there is a sound or not that brings you peace. If you grew up in a rural area, maybe the sound of crickets chirping or the cicadas. If you grew up in the city, maybe you actually need city noise to fall asleep, oddly enough. Some people do. They need the hum, they need the sirens, they need that. Or maybe you just need running water. But take inventory of what consciously brings you peace. If you're listening to the music that I'm playing in the background and you feel peaceful, maybe even more peaceful than you ever have, then this may be something that consciously you can put into your sleep hygiene ritual. And that's exactly what it's called, a sleep hygiene ritual. And then lastly, colors and light. I spoke to you a little bit about the SCN nerve that is affected by the blue light of the television, okay? So that's one way that we're affected by color and light as it relates to creating peace so that we can actually get the rest and the sleep that we need. Like we need it. It's not a, what am I gonna say, optional. It's a necessity. So other things that we can be mindful of is light in general. Looking at your bedroom, is it dark enough? Is the night light driving you insane? Is there a light that maybe comes in from another room that maybe you need to black out? Do you need blackout curtains? These are real questions, and you're allowed to take inventory of your sleeping space, because the core function of your bedroom should be about rest. It should be about rest. Now, if you're married, there's some other activities that can happen. Okay, that's great. But it should be about rest and peace. And so if you know, and there's whole studies dedicated to something called chromotherapy, where you look at what colors impact your life. And does this color make you excited? Does this color bring you peace? If you know that there's a color that when you see it, you just become peaceful and relaxed, that's probably the color your bedroom should be. It may not even be your favorite color. It's just a color that brings you peace. Because we have to honor the fact that our bodies need peace and rest, especially in times like these when there's so much chaos. The only thing that's constant is change. Every time you turn on the TV or pull out your phone or scroll a timeline, you're seeing changes. This has been changed, and this has been changed, and dates have been changed. And so in times like these, our peace, regulating our peace, regaining our peace, and retaining our peace become paramount. Peace is paramount. If you remember nothing else that I've said to you today, Peace is paramount, especially in times like these, where our peace is constantly being interrupted. So check your atmosphere, the space that you're sleeping in. Do you need to change the color? Do you need to move the clutter? Do you need to engage in things that bring peace to you on a conscious level? The beats, the music, running water, white noise. What do you need? And honor that need in the atmosphere that you sleep in. And lastly, accomplices. Again, for me, the factors that affect sleep boil down to the three things. We've talked about activities, we've talked about the atmosphere extensively, I might add, and lastly, we're talking about the accomplices. The people, and I can't say people, the people and things, maybe even pets that we co-sleep. So who is your co-sleeper, if anybody? Is it a cat? Is it a dog? You know, when I work with couples, often when we start talking about distance in a relationship, I have to ask, okay, so when you go to sleep, what happens? Oh, well, the dogs come in and they sleep. Oh, okay. So at some point, if you have a dog or a cat or a pet of any kind that is your co-sleeper, or a person that is your co-sleeper, that can be a challenge, because this person may bring an entirely different set of sleep hygiene rituals. They may bring no sleep hygiene rituals, and our favorite sleep hygiene or lack of sleep hygiene ritual, because this has nothing to do with sleep hygiene, they may bring the beautiful sounds of snoring. So if your co-sleeper is snoring, they toss and turn, they're restless, they have clutter on their side of the room, but you don't have clutter on yours, this can all impact our sleep. So what do we do? Well, hopefully we're very good at negotiating with our co-sleepers. If your co-sleeper has 4 legs, it's easier to negotiate with them because you can just tell them to go out, or you can crate them. If you feel, or if you want to experiment with the possibility that having this co-sleeper is impacting your sleep. If you slept well before you started letting your pet sleep with you, it might be time to consider not doing that for a couple of nights. See what happens. Now, you might be just fine with the individuals that share the bed, individual pets, things that share a bed with you, but are you comfortable? Because your comfort matters. I've even gone as far, again, working with couples at the relationship firm, I've even gone as far to suggest that some couples sleep apart. We all know that couples didn't always sleep in the same bed. That's very 21st, that's very mid-century, I guess, mid-century phenomenon. But prior to that, it wasn't uncommon. And so I have suggested that, especially if you have a spouse that doesn't sleep well, that may snore and nothing helps, because you're uncomfortable. And there's no reason to sacrifice your comfort for the sake of your co-sleeper. Does not mean that we don't love our co-sleepers. We love you. Of course, we share a bed with you. So, but be mindful about what you need and what makes you comfortable when you need to go to sleep. If they're a person that loves to watch TV and you're not, what do you need to do? Do you need to get a sleep mask? Do they need to watch TV in the other room? This is when conversations can ensue. Again, if they have 4 legs, probably easier than if they have 2, and that's okay. But ask yourself, are you comfortable? And don't mind, because that's what a lot of people say. Yeah, you know, he or she snores, but I don't mind. But your body may mind. Your body may mind the discomfort, especially if someone has sleep apnea, which is one of the para-insomnias. If someone has sleep apnea, you're more than likely sleeping on edge, because you know what it sounds like when they stop breathing. You want to be on alert. even with the CPAP machine going on. Or if they have apnea and they're not wearing a CPAP, you're even more on edge. Now, am I telling you to send that person to another room? No, but I'm saying figure out what it's going to take for you to be comfortable. Because if you're not comfortable, then you'll never get to the peace that you need. And without peace, again, I've told you, peace is paramount. Without peace, it's going to be very hard for you to get rest. And without rest, it's very hard for us to get the quality sleep, the sweet rest that we not only desire, but we deserve, and that we ultimately need. So I guess I've shared all of that. I think it's time for my confession. I do everything wrong. Everything that I've told you today, I do not do it. I have a TV in the room, sleep with the TV. About the only thing I don't do, I don't take in high drama before, at least 2 hours before bed. But the TV, no blackout curtains, all of that. And so what that says is not so much that I don't practice what I preach. What it says is that everyone is different. Everyone is different. Everybody is different. Physiologically, you are different. Mentally, you are different. Emotionally, you are different. And so I'm going to give you an opportunity to look at what you need to do differently. It may not be what everybody needs to do, and that's okay. All right? So that's why I always want to give the confession. Listen, I do everything wrong, and I sleep like a baby. I really do. I sleep like a baby every night. I usually can get up to 8.5, 9, and sometimes even 12 hours of sleep, depending on if I decide to get up or if I go back to bed. If the day allows me to do that, then I can do that. So I believe in sleep. And one of the reasons I became a sleep science coach and got a certification in that is because the more I talked about my sleep hygiene rituals and how well I sleep, the more I learned that many people don't. Not only do they not sleep, but if they sleep, they don't sleep well. And so I want to be a part of helping people get sweet rest. Because it's not only what you desire, it's what you deserve, it's what you need. This is what we need. And especially now when we're in a high stress situation, this is a high stress situation. This pandemic, everything that's going on, it is a high stress situation. If only because our world is being affected. At any time our world is being affected from a global standpoint, our rituals, our routines, the way we go about our day, our sense of normalcy, anytime that's affected, that is stressful for us. It is stressful. And so this, like I said to you earlier, peace is paramount, and we almost have to fight for the peace. It sounds oxymoronic, but we almost have to fight for our peace. Because it's so easy to take in chaos and confusion right now. It's running amok, it's rampant. And so I invite you to do what you need to do to stay grounded during these times, to maintain or reclaim your peace during this time, to get the rest that you desire, deserve, and need during this time. That's the invitation I want to give to you. Because when we sleep, one of the systems that is impacted is our immunity. Because stress impacts our immunity. It affects our ability to fight disease. We need to be at our best level right now, emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, even relationally. We need to be at our best level. And so I'm so excited that I had the opportunity to come and share some things with you that will hopefully not only help you rest better, but help you live better. Because that's the ultimate goal in all things we do at the firm. Whole is the goal. We want to be whole. Nothing missing, nothing broken. All right, so let's wrap this thing up with some questions. Just 4. And if you're taking notes, then I'm going to read them. You can write them down and we can discuss them a little bit. I'm going to check for comments. I don't see any comments. Thank you for those of you who have come. I hope you're enjoying this. So like I said, everybody's different. I'm different, doing everything, almost everything wrong and still getting quality sleep. Some people aren't doing anything right and they're not getting any sleep. So I want to put the power and the ownership of your sleep experience on you with these questions. The first one, what could I do differently tonight based on the information received here? What could I do differently tonight based on the information received here? If you want to stop eating or drinking 2 hours before bedtime, you can do that. Definitely do that with water, any liquids, because, we didn't talk about the in-bed glass of water, which I know sometimes we do that. We're a little thirsty, but you don't want to drink too much water before you go to bed because then you'll have to get up in the middle of the night. So what could I do differently tonight? Small changes. We don't believe in drastic changes at the firms. So what could I do differently tonight? Second question, what resources or tips do I want to try in an effort to enhance my sleep experience? And that may go back to looking at your atmosphere. Do you want to try the binaural beats? If you do, I'll make sure that you get this link dispersed to you. I know we can do that. I know Melissa's in the background, Sparrow Partner. She's been so amazing to bring this and bring this program today, and she's been so helpful. I just want to say, Melissa with Sparrow Partners, you are amazing. And so I'll make sure that she gets this. If you want to try the binaural beats, if you want to try meditation music, we can actually make you a playlist, actually. So if that's something that you want, then we can make that happen. In fact, I'll make a Sparrow's Partner playlist and it'll be available if you want it. You can just request it via the Facebook page or send a message. So however you make requests, you can definitely do that. Is there anything that I think I should stop doing before bed? Are you watching NCIS? Are you watching Law and Order? You know, are these things that you think, well, I do get a little excited when they solve the case, because it doesn't have to be bad. You know, it doesn't have to be bad or sad, but what it does, it just gets you excited. And so when you get excited, the adrenaline starts pumping. And when adrenaline starts pumping, we go into fight or flight mode. And when we go into fight or flight mode, then we go into a stress reaction. When we go into a stress reaction, then we start pumping hormones. When we start pumping hormones, we have to be able to turn that off. So we don't want to attack our sympathetic nervous system. We want to bring our parasympathetic nervous system up, because that is our rest and digest system. And so if we're watching things, we're like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, this is awesome. Okay, again, it doesn't have to be bad or sad. We want to make sure that we're not in fight or flight, that we're not excited, that we're not, that the adrenaline is not pumping in our body. We want to make sure that we are ready to rest and digest. There are many digestive functions that happen at night. And so we want to make sure that we're doing things, that we stop doing things that we think we should. If you feel like you want to stop eating and drinking, feel free. If you feel like you don't want to take a snack to bed, feel free to do that. I'm putting the power in your hands. And then lastly, what is one thing that I've learned today that I want to share with someone else by phone or text? This is where you have the opportunity to evangelize your learning, to share with someone else, and to engage with a fellow human, because we need that. One thing about this time in our history is that it can press us to be more mindful of communication, to whom we communicate, with whom we communicate, how often we communicate. So what is one thing that you learned today that you want to share with someone else by phone or text? It doesn't have to be deep. It doesn't have to be a crazy statistic. It could simply be, I learned that I need to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep. And as a woman, I actually need 20 more minutes of sleep than a man. Could be something that simple. But I'll put it on you to share it. I'm going to leave that up just a minute so you'll have a second to write it if you're writing down. All right. Hopefully that's enough time for you to get it down, get those 4 questions, and decide what you want to do. Do you need to change your sheets? Do you love fresh sheets? It can be such a little thing. Do you want to shower before you go to bed? Do you have lavender essential oils? Maybe you want to put that not necessarily on your pillow because you don't want to get it on your eyes, but put it on a cotton ball and put that next to your bed. There are so many things you can do to enhance your sleep experience and to try new things. Try something new tonight, either something that you do or don't do. And lastly, are you sleeping like a baby? Most of us aren't, so if you aren't, that's fine. But just be honest. I'm not sleeping like a baby. And babies get up a lot. I don't really know why people say that, but babies get like 12 hours of sleep depending on their age. Optimally, they should get like 12 to 15 hours of sleep. But sleeping like a baby to me is about just being peaceful without being encumbered by the weights of the world. Again, as I said earlier, the vicissitudes of this life, this season that we're in, just being able to rest, knowing that everything is taken care of. That's a beautiful gift. That's a beautiful gift. And in order for us to get the sleep that we not only desire and deserve, but that we need to be at our best level, to function at our best level, to be there for our fellow humans and for ourselves, we only have to look at our activities, our atmosphere, and our accomplices. That's all, just 3 things, and only one may be separating us from the sleep that we need. It has been my pleasure to introduce you or to confirm for you that you can indeed have sweet rest, that your peace is paramount. And in times like these, you are still required to do the things that give you peace, that bring you rest, and allow you to sleep. My name is Stephanie D. McKenzie, and I am so pleased to have been with you today in conjunction with Sparrow Partners, Celea, Mara, and Sage Properties. As I always say on my lives, I thank you for loving and learning, and in this case, sleeping with me, and I hope you have a beautiful day, and I really hope you have an amazing night. Rest well.